Welcome back to the show, everybody. We have a packed show today. Week 3 preview show for you today. There are about 10 games this weekend that you need to have on your must-watch list. I'm not sure how you're going to get it done, but you need to get that done. There are so many good college football games this weekend. Forget about the NFL. Get all your watching in on Saturday. Get your watching in on Saturday. There are so many good college football games this weekend, and it's only week 3, folks. It is only week 3. It's only going to get better as the season progresses. It is only going to get better as the season progresses. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Go ahead and drop down below and subscribe. Leave a comment. Love you, Ian, and I will respond to you. Now, with all of that being said, I'm a little sad here today because we only have, 10, 12 weeks left in the season. We're already running out of college football, and it's a sad time. But at the same time, we got to enjoy week 3 while we have it because this could be a historic weekend. And I really believe that, and you should believe it as well because I'm telling you, and you need to pay attention to what I tell you. We're going to jump right in. We have game previews. We have picks every single week. We have picks again this week, and then we have blank of the week. Here we go, folks. First game up. It's Georgia at Tennessee, highest ranked matchup. It is going to be electric in Knoxville, Tennessee on Saturday night. It will be one of the best atmospheres in all of college football all season long. I was just at one of them, the Oklahoma-Michigan game. I was at one of the best atmospheres in all of college football one Saturday night. This one may be even better because you know who hates Tennessee? Georgia. And you know who hates Georgia? Tennessee. They hate each other. The animosity is there. Georgia has had Tennessee's number for quite some time now. Okay, ever since Kirby Smart's there, he's kind of owned the Tennessee Volunteers. Josh Heupel hasn't cracked that Kirby Smart code. Is this the year he puts it all together? Or is it just another? Yeah, Georgia, more talent. Kirby Smart, better head coach. They get it done again. They go into Knoxville and crush some Tennessee Volunteer dreams again, and they make Tennessee Volunteer fans go home crying. Is that what's going to happen again? Or is Josh Heupel going to say, no more of this. No more of this, Kirby Smart. We're not trying to lose to you anymore. I'm bringing out all the bags of tricks. You ain't seen anything like this what I'm going to show you this Saturday night. Okay? And Josh Heupel, you need to tell your team. Everybody's doubting you. Nobody believes in you. Do people believe in him? I don't know. We'll see what I believe in him. But he needs to be telling his team, nobody believes in you, team. Okay? They think Georgia's going to come in here and impose their will on you. Not going to happen. Not on my watch if I'm Josh Heupel. Because he needs this team ready to roll. I believe they will be ready to roll. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about some things that I think I know. And then some big questions for each of these teams. That's kind of the format we take here at the Inford Show. We do a couple things that we think we know about each of these teams, what we know, what we can expect from each of these teams. And then we have a couple questions, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 questions for each team that we need answered if they want to win this football game. And if it's not answered, then they lose this football game, most likely. We're going to start with the visiting team. Just so happens to be the Georgia Bulldogs, and they are favored by 3.5 in this football game on the road in Knoxville, Tennessee. Side note, Knoxville is on my list to get to. If anybody can make that happen, this would be a great time to make it happen this Saturday night. If you can hook me up, hook me up. Here we go, Georgia. What do I know about this Georgia Bulldog team? What do I know? What can I expect? What do I know? Saturday night, kickoff comes around, end of game. You ask me, what did you see out there? This is what I think I'm going to be saying. The defense from Georgia played really good defense. They were solid all night long. They did enough to win this football game. Okay? I know I can get that from the Georgia Bulldogs this Saturday night. Okay? They've had a lot of turnover there in the past couple of years. A lot of guys are leaving. They're going to get opportunities when they're not playing. The depth's not there anymore. Okay? Newsflash in college football. The depth isn't there anymore. Okay? Backups and backups are going to start in some smaller schools. Okay? So you don't have that depth anymore. So the top guys, you got to stay healthy and you got to play a lot more football during the football game. Doesn't matter. Georgia's defense is going to defense, okay? They are going to play exceptional football on Saturday night. I can expect that from the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, It's not a question, but what if we don't? What if we don't get that? What if the unexpected happens and the defense plays like booty cheeks? Okay, what if that happens? Well, then Georgia most likely loses this football game. Okay, the defense is going to have to defense if you're Georgia, and I expect it to, and I expect that to happen, and I expect to say it Saturday night after the football game. I will expect to say on the social media channels here at Ian Fritz Show, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. I expect to say the defense from Georgia, it's back at the top, baby. It is back at the top of elite levels of college football. Okay. The second thing that I expect to say that I think we know about this Georgia team and I think we can expect from them on Saturday night, I think the Zachariah Branch effect will take place on Saturday night. I think we will see it for the first time in a Georgia Bulldog uniform. I think it will be evident that Zachariah Branch is the fastest, most athletic, most skilled player on the entire football field from either team. Okay? I think we're going to get that Zachariah Branch game on Saturday night. I know he is that skilled. I know he is that athletic. I know he is that fast. We've seen it at USC his freshman year. The guy has the tools, and I think Georgia is about to unleash it. So I know that we will get a Zachariah Branch game on Saturday night. Again, does that mean they win? I don't know, but I think we'll leave Saturday night saying, yeah, Zachariah Branch is going to be a first-round draft pick at the wide receiver position. If not first, he's going to be one of the first wide receivers off the board. He is that good. He is that high level. Okay, I think that's what we expect from the Georgia Bulldogs. Switch over to Tennessee Volunteers. The first thing I think we can expect on Saturday night is Josh Heupel will scheme some things open, okay? Now, this doesn't mean he schemes them open into touchdowns every single time they happen. But there will be plays to be made. There will be plays to be made. Now, does Joey Aguilar, do those Tennessee Volunteer wide receivers, do those running backs, do those tight ends make those plays happen? It may not happen. But there will be plays to be made, and there will be opportunities for those volunteer players to make them. Okay, Josh Heupel is one of the best offensive minds in all of college football. He will have his wins against this Georgia Bulldog defense. And you're thinking, Ian, didn't you just say Georgia's defense is going to play some exceptional football? Yes, they are. They are. Now, that doesn't mean the offense isn't going to have their moments, okay? I really love Josh Heupel, really love what he's got going on. Again, do the players execute what he has drawn up? Okay, do they execute the schemed open plays that Josh Heupel has drawn up? Because you miss on one of those where it's a nice trick play, boom, you got a guy open 50 yards down the field and Joey Aguilar overthrows him. Oh, that was a 3rd and 9. That was a touchdown. That was to get this game 10-7 going into the fourth quarter. Now it's 10-0. We're punting away. Georgia's got all the momentum. They're going to lean on us in this fourth quarter, okay? Nah, that can't happen. That can't happen. We cannot have that happen if you're a Tennessee Volunteer player. You got to execute when Josh Heupel draws your number up. You got to be there. You got to make it happen. The second thing for Tennessee, this has nothing to do with the team. This is all about the crowd. This crowd, I hinted at it a couple minutes ago, this crowd will be electric. I know that's going to be an electric atmosphere, an atmosphere that I want to be at, an atmosphere that every single person in college football that loves college football should want to be at, okay? The crowd is going to be going bananas. They want to beat this Georgia Bulldog football team. They want to put them in the ground. They want to say, not this year, Georgia. And you know why it's not this year? Because you lost to the Tennessee Volunteers by 50 at home. We beat you. You were favored. Not today. We put you in the ground, okay? These Tennessee Volunteer fans are going to be fired up, and they're going to affect the Georgia Bulldog offense. Some biggest questions for each of these football teams. The biggest question I have for the Georgia Bulldogs is, will Gunnar Stockton be able to handle the pressure? This is really his first true road test, okay? You can say, well, what about the playoff game? That wasn't really a road game, but it was a big game. It was a big test. Yeah, it was a big test. It was a big test. And I would say he didn't pass. He didn't fail, but he didn't pass. It was somewhere in between. This right here is your biggest pressure test, okay? This is your biggest pressure test. Is it going to implode? Is it going to implode and the pressure is going to swallow you up, Gunnar Stockton? Or are you going to bust out of there and become a superhero for your Georgia Bulldogs? Do you embrace this pressure that you're going to face on Saturday night? This is between me and you, Gunnar. Between me and you, Gunnar. Do you embrace the pressure? Are you a dog? D-A-double-G? What you want your fan base to know you as? Do you have that Superman on your chest? Okay? Or do you fold? Do you give in to the pressure? Do you weep? Do you give up? Do you sulk? Do you say, man, this kind of stinks. I haven't made a good play. The crowd, I can't hear nothing. Or do you go out there and make football plays? Will Gunnar Stockton handle the pressure? That's the biggest thing I want to see out of this Georgia Bulldog football team. Because if he can, oh, baby, everybody needs to watch out for the Georgia Bulldogs. The biggest question I have for the Tennessee Volunteers, will the offensive line hold up? Okay, it was a similar question that I had for the Oklahoma Sooners last week against that Michigan Wolverine defense. Okay, this is a retooled, restocked, reconfigured offensive line for these Tennessee Volunteers. These are a bunch of new guys up there, a couple freshmen up there. Do these young guys have what it takes against this Georgia front seven? Georgia's front seven, always good. It's good again this year. The defense is going to play well. Does the offensive line hold up well enough to give Joey Aguilar time to throw the football when Josh Heupel schemes things open? That is my biggest question. Can the offensive line hold up in pass protection against this Georgia Bulldog defense? With those things that I know are going to happen, I expect to happen on Saturday night. And the two biggest questions: who is going to win this football game? Georgia favored by 3.5, according to basically every single sports book out there. I have Georgia winning this football game, and I have Georgia covering the 3.5. I would love it if this dipped to 3. I don't think it's going to. I think that's probably where the line is going to stay at. If it dipped, if it rose to 4.5, I would probably take Tennessee Volunteers. If it stays at 3.5, I like Georgia. I like Georgia to win either way. Give me Georgia to win and cover on Saturday night. I wouldn't bet any money on this game. I do not feel confident in that at all. Next game up. Got to take a sip here before we dive into a really fun game. Patented mug. If you want one of these, let me know. We got a voicemail down below, an email down below. We'll ship it to you. You send us your information. We'll get you a mug. We will get you a mug. Next game up. South Florida going to Miami. And some would say, to be honest with you, I'm not even sure where South Florida is located in the state of Florida. South Florida, the school, not South Florida, the region. So it could be very close to Miami here. It wouldn't surprise me at all if these are an hour away from each other. Again, probably should have done my geographical homework before this. Either way, two Southern Florida schools playing each other this weekend on Saturday. A top 15, I can't remember where the Bulls were at in the AP. I believe they were 16, 17. So top 20 matchup. It should be a top 10 matchup. If you listen to the What If poll, if you look at Ian Fritz, if you follow Ian Fritz show on all the socials, which you should, a lot of good content over there, you will know that the USF Bulls are at number 7 in the What If poll. This is a team that deserves to be there. Will they be there by the end of the year? Who knows? But they deserve to be there right now through 2 weeks. Also, Miami, they're a top 5 team right now through 2 weeks as well. We got a top 10 matchup according to the What If poll, which is the only one that should matter to you and should matter to anyone in the college football space. We got a top 10 matchup here in Miami, Florida. I am so excited for this football game, not only because it's a group of 5 team going against an ACC champion hopeful, the ACC favorite right now in the conference, but it's also a group of 5 team that has just knocked off a hopeful SEC team, an SEC team that had maybe what some were saying was the best quarterback in all of college football going into this season. And this defense just shut him down and made him look pedestrian. They made him look pedestrian. And you know what USF did last week as well? That was on the road. They're not foreign to a hostile environment. And let me tell you something. Gainesville, Florida is a lot more hostile than Miami, Florida. Okay? Is a lot more hostile than Miami, Florida. That Hard Rock Stadium, that's got nothing on the swamp, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing on the swamp. USF, this is not foreign territory for you. This is not foreign territory for the USF Bulls. Miami Hurricanes. Were you watching last week? Were you paying attention to what was happening? You probably shouldn't have been. You need to be focused on your games. If you were paying attention last week, that's on you. That's distractions. Give me the USF Bulls. But if you weren't doing that, if you were paying attention to Bethune-Cookman, which judging by the score, judging by what I've seen, it looks like you weren't paying attention to USF Florida, which you shouldn't have been. You should have been focused on Bethune-Cookman, and I believe you were. Okay? So we got 2 focused. We got 2 awesome. A lot of speed on both of these teams. If you haven't watched these teams play, a lot of speed on both of these teams, offensively and defensively. Mainly, we'll talk about it here in a second for USF and Miami, where most of the speed is. But there is a lot of speed. I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say that a lot of that speed is homegrown down there in the state of Florida. A lot of fast guys down there in Florida, and they decided to stay home, okay? You may have trouble watching these guys fly around this football field on Saturday because of how fast they are. Now, what do I know about the USF Bulls? They are currently 17.5-point underdogs. Coincidentally, that was the same exact point spread USF had against Florida last week. The same exact point spread USF had against Florida last week. What do I know about these USF Bulls? Okay, number one, Byron Brown will be the best player for the USF Bulls, okay? Everything, he's going to have to do it all. That's what I know. He's going to have to do it all for them. He may not be the best player. They got a couple studs on defense. He will have to run everything, okay? It's going to have to go through him in the run game. It's going to have to go through him in the pass game, obviously, because he's a quarterback. Similar to what John Mateer did against Michigan on Saturday night in Norman, Oklahoma, where he ran the ball for 18 times, 74 yards, was their leading rusher, and he threw for 220 yards. Byron Brown is going to have to do something similar here, okay? He's going to have to do something similar. He's going to have to be their leading rusher. He's going to have to throw for a lot. He did that against Florida last week. He's going to have to replicate that again this week against the Miami Hurricanes. The second thing I know about USF, they're going to showcase their speed on defense, okay? This is one of those matchups I was talking about. USF has a lot of speed on the edge of their defense, okay? Coincidentally, Miami, a lot of their speed is at their wide receiver positions, particularly the true freshman wide receiver, slot receiver. I believe he's number one, blanking on his name right now. Sorry about that. The guy is twitchy and he is fast, okay? He's got some speed. He has speed, quickness, all of those things wrapped into one little body. USF has guys that can match that speed. Now, can they match it in week 3 of the college football season? Can they match it week 3 on the road, back-to-back road games, back-to-back tests against Power 5 opponents, Power 4 opponents that are highly touted, highly talented schools? Can they do it in back-to-back weeks? We shall see. But I believe their speed will be on display. Some of those players will no longer be at USF next year. What do I know about the Miami Hurricanes? I believe we can expect the Miami Hurricanes to let it fly. Carson Beck should have upwards of 35 pass attempts in this football game. I believe we know that the Miami Hurricanes are going to sling this football around against the USF Bulls, okay? There will be plays to be made against this USF secondary. Yes, they have speed. But sometimes speed kills your own team. And they rely on that a little too much. Are they going to rely on it a little too much against a really talented Miami Hurricane football team? We shall see. But I know we can expect the Miami Hurricanes to launch this football all over the field. Carson Beck should have a big day on Saturday night. May not result in a win, but expect Carson Beck to have a stat line that you're like, whoa, man, Carson Beck, he is back to form, baby. The second thing I know about the Miami Hurricanes on Saturday night is that their defensive line will own the line of scrimmage against this South Florida offensive line. Now, I will say this about the South Florida offensive line. It is a solid group. However, it is no match. It is no match for Ruben Bain and company on the Miami Hurricane defensive line. Go back a couple weeks, Notre Dame-Miami game. Throughout the process of that game, it was pretty evenly matched, Notre Dame's offensive line, Miami's defensive line. But as the game wore on, Miami started pressing on them more and more, and it was evident that that defensive line was wearing the Notre Dame Fighting Irish out the entire game. Will we see something similar? I believe we will. The defensive line from Miami should dominate this football game. The biggest questions I have for USF. Did they use all of their energy, power, skills, incredible play calls, mental fortitude in their first 2 weeks of college football? Did they use it all against Boise State? Did they use what they had left to beat Florida in the swamp? Or do they have anything left? I need to see it. If you have something left, congratulations, USF. You may be the number 1 team in the country. If you don't, You'll be 2-1, still a great record, still a great resume, but you will not be 3-0, and you will not have a win over the Miami Hurricanes. My biggest question for the Miami Hurricanes on Saturday: do they show the entire world that they are a national title contender? And you're thinking, Ian, you're overreacting. Even if they beat USF by 25, this does not show they are a national title contender. I don't believe you. I disagree with you. If they beat USF by 25 plus, Miami shows the world they are for real. They are not to be messed with this year, and they can win a national title. Do they show that? Or do they fold like Florida did and just get run over by the USF inferior opponent? Or do they show the world, hey, we're here to stay. This is our year, Miami Hurricanes. What do you show me? My pick for this game, I believe the Miami Hurricanes will win. However, this nagging little feeling, aka the gut, is telling me USF is going to win, is going to cover this football game. I expect that line to move down. I really do. It's 17.5. Get it while you can. Next game up, the Texas A&M Aggies against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Okay, this is one that I've been looking forward to ever since last year's game ended. Okay, we had Notre Dame go down to Texas A&M a year ago and win in Aggie land. Electric game. Came down to the last second field goal, if I remember correctly. Just an absolute fantastic football game. Are we going to get something similar here? I believe we will. Is it going to come down to a field goal? Maybe not. But I believe this one will come down to the wire because I believe these are two very evenly matched football teams. For Texas A&M, this is your chance early in the season to have a statement win and vault yourself up in the what-if poll rankings, okay? If you're Notre Dame, you need this win. You can't fall to 0-2. You cannot fall to 0-2 if you're the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They still have some really good football teams on their schedule, and it would not look good to go to 0-2. You don't have a conference championship to bail you out. You fall to 0-2, you may not make the college football playoff, okay? And that's the goal each year for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, okay? What do I know about the Texas A&M Aggies? The skill guys, Terry Bussey, Casey Concepcione. Forgive me if I pronounce his name incorrectly, but I believe that is how it's pronounced, and I believe that is the funnest way to say it, Casey Concepcione. And both of their star stud running backs will be the focal point of this offense. Okay, they're going to distribute this ball fast, and they're going to get it to their skill guys, and those skill guys are going to make things happen. That is the game plan for the Texas A&M Aggies. Get it to their guy, let him go make something happen. Get it to their guy over there, let him go make something happen. That will be what I see on Saturday night from the Texas A&M Aggies. The second thing I know, the second thing I expect is Marcel Reed will vault himself, win or lose, into the top 5 of the Heisman conversation. He's already there for most people. If he's not there for you, he should be. The numbers he's putting up through two weeks of the season is very, very impressive. Yes, not against great opponents, but the numbers are there, and I believe he backs it up against a very good Notre Dame defense. Marcel Reed's going to have a big game. He's going to have a big game. May not win, but he will have a big game. What do I know about this Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team? The defense is going to play good enough to win. Similar to Georgia, the defense is going to defense. I have no doubt about that. Now, you're thinking, Ian, didn't you just say that Texas A&M is going to utilize all their skill guys, and that's going to be the focal point of their offense, and then Marcel Reed's going to vault himself into the Heisman conversation? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. All of that doesn't mean Notre Dame's defense didn't play well enough to win. Marcel Reed goes out there and puts 24 points on the board, and he has 250 yards passing, 100 yards rushing, 3 total touchdowns. That is a very good stat line against a very good Notre Dame defense, and that should be good enough to get you in the Heisman conversation after his first 2 weeks. He will total 11 touchdowns, no interceptions. Something like that could happen. However, Notre Dame's defense giving up 24 points, that should be good enough at home to give your team a win. That should be good enough at home to give your team a win. The second thing that I will know is Marcus Freeman is going to have something up his sleeves. Even if he's wearing short sleeves like me, he's going to have something hidden up there that he's going to pull out in the middle of this football game, maybe when it's coming down to crunch time, and you're going to be like, ooh, did I just watch what I think I saw? Did I just see what I think I saw? And you're going to be like, you're going to rewind it, and you're going to say, I did see that. And you're going to think, Marcus Freeman, what are we doing? Why would you do that? And he did it because it worked, and it was awesome, and it was shocking, and he didn't expect you to think he was going to do that. Because Marcus Freeman always does something in these big-time football games that you wouldn't expect, okay? I expect that to happen. And you're thinking, Ian, if you expect it, how can he expect that you expect it? Well, I'm not going up against Marcus Freeman, so it doesn't matter if I expect it because he thinks Texas A&M isn't expecting it. But if you're a Texas A&M guy, talk to the coaches. Marcus Freeman's going to pull something out of there unexpectedly. Biggest question for Texas A&M. It's mainly a question for Mike Elko here. Have you figured it out defensively? I still have some worries defensively. UTSA was able to run all over you. Notre Dame, they're known for running the football. You know that, right, Mike Elko? I have no doubt in my mind that Mike Elko knows that. You as a fan, you know that. Ian Fritcho, we know that here. Are you going to be able to get it together? You let UTSA, the Road Runners, now, great name. They're not the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, okay? Can you get the defense figured out, particularly in stopping the run? Have they figured it out? That's my biggest question. So far, they haven't, and I would be majorly worried if I was a Texas A&M fan right now, heading to a team that all they do is run the football for the majority of the game. Biggest question for Notre Dame. Does the offensive line show improvement from what they were against Miami? Now, I believe Miami has one of the best defensive lines in all of college football. I believe that is a true statement. However, the offensive line from Notre Dame showed some weaknesses, okay? There was a lot to be desired. CJ Carr was under pressure all game. CJ Carr, dog, had to make some things happen. Is he going to have to do that again against Texas A&M? I think it'll be a little bit easier. I don't think the front from Texas A&M is as good. But does Notre Dame, with an off week last week, show any improvement this weekend? Those are my two big questions. With that in mind, who's going to win? Who's going to cover? Give me Notre Dame to win, favored by 6.5, 5.5, I believe. Give me Notre Dame to win and cover this football game. Next up, we have the entire picks for every single AP Top 25 game this weekend. We're going to fly right through these, ladies and gentlemen. Give me the Indiana Hoosiers. No spread right now against Indiana State, okay, the Sycamores. That's a terrible mascot. A tree, really? We're really going with the Sycamores, okay? Terrible. Oregon minus 27.5. It's all day, just free money if you bet Oregon again. Clemson at Georgia Tech minus 9.5 for the Clemson Tigers. Give me Georgia Tech plus 9.5. We'll get back to that game here in a second. Wisconsin traveling to Tuscaloosa to not beat the Alabama Crimson Tide. Give me Alabama minus 20.5. I think they continue to build off that win against UL Marone last week. Give me Alabama minus 20.5. Give me Michigan minus 27.5 at home against Central Michigan. We all know the story with Central Michigan and Michigan. Okay, that was tag team cheating investigation there. South Alabama at Auburn minus 24.5. Again, the only thing I use to make these picks here at the Ian Fritz Show. Again, we had a winning week last week. We are above 500 on the season this year, and we are way above 500 in the history of this show. We know what we're doing here at the Ian Fritz Show, and we go based on my gut. Okay, what is my gut instinct about these football games? And the gut was Auburn minus 24.5, and then the head started thinking. The head started trying to get in there. No, Ian. South Alabama. No. Go with your gut. Go with your instincts. Penn State, Georgia minus 3.5. We already talked about it. Texas Tech minus 23.5. Now, Oregon State is by far the best team they've faced up until this point. However, I believe the offense from the Red Raiders is good enough to get above that 23.5 point threshold. Iowa State at Arkansas State. This is one of those lines where you see it and you think, what? Didn't Arkansas State just lose by a billion? A billion? To Arkansas? They did. So give me Iowa State minus 20.5. However, that is one to watch. You're kind of like, what? Is it because Iowa State just played Iowa? What's going on there with that line? That line seems too low. Either way, I'm taking Iowa State minus 20.5. Louisiana at Missouri. This is one where the gut was just telling me. It was saying Raging Cajuns. It was also telling me UTEP. You already know I picked USF plus 17.5. Give me Ohio State minus 32.5. Illinois minus 27.5. Illinois. Some people are confused about Illinois, and you should be, because their win against Duke last week, while it looks really good, shout out Parker Fleming on Twitter. I said it during the game. That game is going to skew people's opinions of Illinois. Okay, they're going to think Illinois is the greatest thing since sliced bread, when in reality, they're probably a mid-teen ranked team in the country. Okay, regardless, Western Michigan got no match for them. Oklahoma at Temple, minus 24.5. This is another line that you're like, that seems too low. The Temple Owls have a revamped football program this year. The offense can score some points. However, it is not enough against the Oklahoma Sooners. Give me OU minus 24.5. Arkansas, give me a plus 9.5 against Ole Miss. Give me Florida plus 9.5 against LSU. You already know I took Notre Dame minus 6.5. And the second to last one here, Vandy at South Carolina minus 5.5. They play this weekend. Vanderbilt just dismantled Virginia Tech, who South Carolina struggled with in week 1. I have Vanderbilt ranked ahead of South Carolina, which I believe you should, based on common opponent and the result on the field. However, Lenore Sellers is the best player on the field. Give me South Carolina minus 5.5. Last game, it's Utah, and it's Utah minus 23.5. However, Wyoming's defense, pretty solid. Lastly, we have blank of the week, and it's upset alerts. Yes, plural of the week. Going to take a sip here before I dive into each one of these games here. In each one of these games, except for the Vandy South Carolina game, I took the plus points, okay? I didn't think I was getting enough points from the Vanderbilt South Carolina game at only 5.5. If that creeped up to 6, 7, I would probably take Vanderbilt. But you're getting 9.5 for Arkansas. The offense is unbelievable. Taylor Green is unbelievable. And Ole Miss defense has regressed this year. You look back at that Kentucky game last weekend. If Kentucky had a quarterback, Ole Miss loses that football game. Arkansas has a really good quarterback in college football this year. Really, really good. Sound the alarm bells. This is very likely upset. Very likely upset, okay? Florida at LSU. It's a classic. You just got beat by a team you shouldn't have lost to, and you go back and beat a team that you weren't favored to beat, okay? That's a classic. It's a classic wait a minute moment, okay? This is a wait a minute upset. I'm not picking Florida outright. I am picking Florida outright. Give me the Florida Gators to beat the LSU Tigers on Saturday night. Give me Florida on Saturday night. Clemson at Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech runs the ball down people's throats. Clemson has struggled with that at times this year. They've also struggled with every team they've played. Only 2 weeks. It should be Georgia Tech plus 9.5. That's too many points. That is too many points. And again, Vandy, South Carolina, Diego Pavia. You can never doubt this guy. Okay, you can never doubt this guy. All of these should be on your watch list of thinking, oh baby, we could have a big time upset weekend this week in college football. I was trying to think of a word there, and it didn't go from my brain to my mouth. Sometimes that happens. It is no big deal. All of these games and more, I would put more games on here for upset alerts. You need to go through ESPN app, whatever app you use, and look at the games this weekend, because there could be 5, 6, 7 top 25 teams this weekend that go down. It could be that type of weekend. Everybody be on the lookout on Saturday, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Drop down below, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, comment, Ian, I love you. I will respond to you. I love you guys. Bye.
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game.
25, 40, 45, 50, 45.